There are amazing women from all walks of life doing amazing things, making very significant contributions to the world, and overall accomplishing enormous milestones. Of the countless successful women in the world's history, I decided to just focus on one subsect of women, the Muslim woman, and highlight 10 of the most important Muslim women in history. How's it going, After the Facts family? It's your girl Rawan Hedefa, and I'm back with another video. Before I get started with this video though, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button, ring that bell so you can always be notified of our videos. Alright guys, so at number 10 is Zainab Ahmed. She was perhaps one of the most eminent Islamic scholars of the 14th century. Zainab belonged to the Hanbali school and resided in Damascus. She had acquired a number of ijazas, which are diplomas basically, in various fields, most notably in the field of hadith. In the early 14th century, she taught such books as Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, the Mutawa of Malika, and many more. Among her students was the North African traveler Ibn Battuta. Zainab's name appears in several dozen of the isnads of Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. It is important to point out that Zainab was actually one of the hundreds of female scholars of hadith during the medieval period in the Muslim world. Next up on the list is Razia Sultan, who was the ruler of the Sultanate of Delhi between 1236 and 1240. Her father Shams al-Din al-Turmish had Razia designated as heir before his death, therefore making her the official ruler of the Sultanate. She was a fairly effective ruler and was a major patron of learning, establishing schools and libraries across northern India. In all matters, she behaved like a sultan, leading armies, sitting upon the throne, and even adopting the same royal dress as her father. To the outrage of many, she also insisted on appearing unveiled in public. In 1240, she was overthrown in a rebellion by the nobles of the kingdom, who among other things were strongly opposed to being led by a woman. Well, that's really unfortunate. Go female power nonetheless. At number 8 is Malika al-Harra Arwa al-Saleh. Her full name is Arwa Ahmed B. Muhammad al-Saleh. From 1067 to 1138, she ruled as the Queen of Yemen in her own right. She was an Ismaili Shi'i and well-versed in various religious sciences, Quran, Hadith, as well as poetry and history. Chronicles describe her as being incredibly intelligent. Arwa was given the highest rank in the Yemeni Fatimid religious hierarchy by the Fatimid Salaf al-Muntasir. She was also known for being the first woman in the history of Islam to be given such an illustrious title and to have such authority in the religious hierarchy. It was also during her reign that Ismaili missionaries were sent to Western India, where a major Ismaili center was established at Gurjat, which continues to be a stronghold of the Ismaili Bohra faith. She played a major role in the Fatimid schism of 1094 during her support behind al-Mustali and later al-Tayyib, and it is a mark of her immense influence that the lands under her rule, Yemen and parts of India, would follow her in this. Indeed, Yemen became the stronghold of the Tayyibi Ismaili movement. Her reign was marked by various construction projects and improvement of Yemen's infrastructure, as well as its increased integration with the rest of the Muslim world. She was perhaps the single most important example of an independent queen in Muslim history. At number 7 is Rabia AlAdawiya. She is known to be one of the most important mystics for Sufis in the Muslim tradition. Al-Adwiya spent much of her early life as a slave in southern Iraq before attaining her freedom. She is considered to be one of the founders of the Sufi school of divine love, which emphasizes the loving of God for his own sake rather than out of fear of punishment or desire for reward. At number 6 is Zainab Ali. She was the granddaughter of the Prophet Muhammad through his daughter Fatima and her husband Ali bin Ali Talib. She was a leading figure of the Al-Bayt during the late 7th century and played a central role both during and after the massacre at Karbala, where her brother Al-Hussein ibn Ali and 72 of her nephews and other brothers were killed by the Umayyads. For a time, she was the effective leader of the Ahl al-Bayt and served as the primary defender of the cause of her brother, al-Hussein. At Kufa, she defended her nephew Ali ibn al-Hussein from certain death by the governor of the city, and when presented to the Yazid ibn Muawiyah at Damascus, she gave such an impassioned and forceful speech at the royal court that the caliph was convinced by his advisors to release her and the prisoners taken at Karbala. Her strength, patience, and wisdom makes her one of the most important women in early Islam. Her shrine at Damascus remains a major place of visitation by both Sunnis and Shias, a fact that emphasizes the universality of her legacy among Muslims. At number 5 is Aisha Bint Abi Bakar, who is a figure that requires almost no introduction. Aisha was the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, who had perhaps the most influence on the Muslim community after his death. She played a central role in the political opposition to the third and fourth caliphs, Uthman ibn Affan and Ali ibn Abi Talib, even leading an army against the latter at Barsa in 656. Although she retired from political life after her defeat, she continued to play a major role as a transmitter of Islamic teachings. She is actually one of the major narrators of hadith in the Sunni tradition. In many ways, she is among the most interesting and controversial figures in early Islam, especially since the implications of her actions for women's participation in scholarship, political life, and the public sphere clashed with later conservative conceptions of the role of women. Alright, so number 4, next up on the list is Nusayya bin Khabi al-Ansariya, who is also known as Amara. She was a member of the Banu Najjar tribe and one of the earliest converts to Islam in Medina. As a companion of the Prophet Muhammad, there were many virtues attributed to her. She is most remembered, however, for taking part in the Battle of Uhud, in which she carried sword and shield and fought against the Meccans. She shielded the Prophet Muhammad from enemies during the battle and even sustained several wounds in front of him to protect him. It is said that after she sustained her 12th wound, she fell unconscious, and the first question she asked when she was awakened was, "Did the Prophet survive?" A testament to her loyalty and commitment to the new faith. At number 3 is Fatima al-Fihri. Fatima was one of the founders of the oldest degree-granting universities in the world. After inheriting a large fortune, she wanted to devote her money to work that would benefit the community. Thus, with her wealth, she built the Al-Qarawiyyin Mosque. From the 10th to 12th century, the mosque developed into a university known as Al-Qarawiyyin University. Today, the Guinness Book of World Records and UNESCO recognize the university to be the oldest continuously operating institution of higher education in the world. On the note of education, Nana Masu is another very famous Muslim woman in history. Nana was a princess, poet, and teacher. She was fluent in Arabic and well-versed in Arabic, Greek, and Latin classics. In 1830, she formed a group of female teachers who journeyed throughout the region to educate women in poor and rural regions. With the republication of her works that underscore women's education, she has become a rallying point for African women today. Today in northern Nigeria, Islamic women's organizations, schools, and meeting halls are frequently named in her honor. Last but certainly not least is Khadija bin Khuwaylid. Even before her famous marriage to the Prophet Muhammad, she was an important figure in her own right, being a successful merchant and one of the elite figures of Mecca. She played a central role in supporting and propagating the new faith of Islam, and has the distinction of being the first Muslim. As the Prophet Muhammad himself is believed to have said in a hadith preserved in Sahih Muslim, he says, "God Almighty never granted me anyone better in this life than her. She accepted me when people rejected me. She believed in me when people doubted me. She shared her wealth with me when people deprived me. And God granted me children only through her." Indeed, another one of the most important women of early Islam was Fatima al-Zahra, the daughter of the Prophet, by Khadija, and it is only through Fatima that the lineage of the Prophet Muhammad is preserved. These facts make Fatima and her mother Khadija among the most revered female persons in Islamic history. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun researching it and filming it for you. Before you leave the video though, make sure to check out my Instagram and YouTube channel down below to see what I'm up to. Oh, and wait, I'm going to leave you with another video that you have to check out. Trust me. I look forward to seeing you guys in our next videos. Bye!